Success in the PTE reading section isn't about how fast you can read, but how quickly you can identify the underlying structure of a sentence. Most blanks are testing one of two things: a specific grammar rule or a high-yield word pairing, known as a collocation. This passage on fluid mechanics appears dense, but we can solve it using logic rather than deep technical knowledge. We'll focus on the words surrounding each gap. By identifying structural requirements, you systematically eliminate distractors until only the logically sound option remains. Look at blank 1. The word immediately following the gap is the preposition to. Knowing this, we can filter our options for verbs that naturally pair with to, which leads us directly to discoveries related to flight. The passage establishes an academic discussion regarding the history of supersonic flight, so we must maintain a formal tone as we select our remaining answers. For blank 2, we encounter a passive grammar structure. The PowerPoint presentation isn't performing an action, it is being followed by a video clip. The presence of the word by after the gap is a reliable indicator that we need a passive verb form. Identifying whether the subject is the doer or the receiver of an action allows you to ignore half of the multiple choice options. This narrowed focus is what saves you time during the actual exam. Try applying that same logic to blank 3. The subject here is calculations. Ask yourself, are the calculations doing the explaining, or are they the things being explained? Pause the video and make your choice. Calculations cannot speak, so they must receive the action. We use the passive infinitive to be explained to complete the sentence correctly. Blank 4 requires an understanding of academic tone. While concocted or fabricated might fit the sentence structure, they imply dishonesty or making things up. In an educational context, a tutor developed their lectures. PTE passages rely on professional, neutral vocabulary. Recognizing the difference between an informal or negative word and a standard academic term is a powerful tool for elimination. Blank 5 follows the same passive reduction rule we saw earlier. The notes are the objects being handed out by the tutor, making the word given the only logical choice. For blank 6, look back at the full title of the module at the top of the page. The phrase historical perspective is used there, and that same pairing is required again here to maintain the thematic consistency of the text. Finally, blank 7 uses the infinitive of purpose. The students are bringing their notes for a specific reason, to fill in the blanks. When you start seeing these structural echoes, like repeated passive verbs or terminology mirrored from the title, you can move through the final blanks with high confidence. This is the completed passage. By relying on grammar and word pairings, we successfully navigated the text without needing to be experts in fluid mechanics or thermodynamics. This strategy is built on two pillars. On one side, you have grammar checks, primarily determining if a subject is active or passive. On the other, you have collocations, where you match words based on established pairings and academic tone. Apply this blueprint to your next practice set. Filter for grammar first, check for collocations second, and use tone to eliminate the remaining distractors. Mastering these 3 steps is the most effective way to improve your PTE reading score.